That fight was better than I thought it was going to be. I do think that Jake Paul did enough to edge it. On T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360, Jake Paul got a knockdown in that very last round of Anderson Silva. Now, let me say it like this, right? Jake Paul is good. You know, like he's definitely good. He definitely can compete at some level in boxing against boxers. But until he fights a boxer, and right now, Tommy Fury is just not it for me. I guess we can settle for him as being a boxer. But until he fights a boxer, it's going to be really, really hard for him to really, really break through. Now, heavy suggestions that maybe Nate Diaz will be next. Nate Diaz is no longer under contract with the UFC. It wasn't a lot of buzz leading up to this fight. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I'm talking about from like hardcore fans and media, but I'm very, very, very impressed with Jake Paul. And I think that knockdown should be enough for this fight to be a draw or for it to go in his way and for him to get a win over UFC legend and former UFC champion Anderson the Spider Silva, who's 47 years old, by the way. That must be pointed out there. But also, let's talk about the controversy that people are going to talk about, is that how it did look like later on, that Anderson was taking it easy on Jake, or was it the age? You know, it doesn't seem like he really was loading up like on his punches. I don't know, it could be conditioning. You know, I mean, he's not, a full-time boxer. He is 47 years old. Let's see if we can get there's the knockdown.
Some just barely missed. Another look at this right hand, you'll see how it happened. The left hand was low for Silva. And there comes the right.
It was a quick little short joint.
And, all night, Jake Paul was zeroed in on getting that right hand in. And it came, ironically, not from long distance. It came as a short right hand, which might be a surprise in some respects. One last look. That
power was real
at this knockdown.
And look, he got it. It's open. The power was real.
The 9th knockdown of Jake Paul's career. He didn't knock out Anderson Silva, but he scored the lone knockdown of...
He wants to compete at the light heavyweight 175-pound division. But I do feel like the bubble is bursting on YouTuber and celebrity boxing. Not saying that it's going to go away and not always be around, but the appeal is kind of going down a little bit. Especially this pay-per-view was $60. On a busy night of boxing with Loma barely beating Jamaine Ortiz. Lomachenko barely beat Jamaine Ortiz. William Cepeda, Jojo Diaz having a fight also at the same time as this card. Let's listen to the cards. Take a time out. Drop a like. Follow me on Twitter at T-Street Controversy.
8 rounds of action. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Paul Calderon, scores about 77-74. Judges Dennis O'Connell and Chris Wilson both scored about 78-73. All three in favor of the winner. And still undefeated, the problem child, Jake
Can't knock it.
Paul.
Can't knock it.
The problem child has
Let's listen to the post-fight interviews.
His hero, improving to 6-0, and he told us that he has more than what it takes, Al. His heart and his power of the mind, he feels, are his greatest attributes, and, well, he had to show heart.
Anderson got that big-ass payday, though. Good for him.
Feels like a little kid again now that it's all over. over.
That's got to be a surreal moment for him. And there's the numbers. We see that 42% of the power punches landed by Jake Paul, but one was the most important, and that was that right hand from mid-range that landed for him. The numbers were very similar, and they were throughout a portion of the fight. It's just a question. The reason he won is which rounds did he do better in, and of course that knockdown made one of those rounds a 10-8 round.
And he more than doubled up Silva when it came to body shots landed, an impressive statistic and an impressive performance for Jake Paul. Let's go to Ariel.
Mauro, thank you very much, Jake. You just beat one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, fair and square. It was very clear. Can you possibly put into words what is going through your mind right now?
Man, it's a surreal moment. Hard work pays off. And I first and foremost want to say thank you to Anderson. He was my idol growing up. He inspired me to be great. He was the first celebrity I ever met. Without him, we wouldn't have had a fight this year. He's a tough mofo, like for real, a legend. I have nothing but respect for him. And this just goes to show that anyone watching at home, kids, even if you're 40, 45 years old, chase your dreams. It's never too late. I started boxing 2.5 years ago as a pro and just beat one of the greatest ever because I'm obsessed with this. I go so hard every single day. Nothing can get in my way, no distractions. And if you're watching at home, it doesn't matter if you have talent, it doesn't matter if you have anything. You just gotta work your ass off and you can accomplish your dreams, and this should just go to prove that. Because I met this kid when I was 13 years old, so if you're 13 years old watching this, go fucking get it, and don't let anyone tell you you can't do something.
We're gonna look at the knockdown right now in the final round. An incredible scene. We don't often see Anderson in this spot. What did you see here? How did you make this happen?
We were just fighting in the clinch, and he got caught on the way out. He took so many hard shots throughout the whole fight. Like, dude's a real dog, because you see what happens to everyone else that gets hit with that shit. So, man, he's the toughest guy in the world, I swear to God, but I just wanted it more. I'm a real dog, and I left it all in the ring.
What will they say now, Jake? What are they going to say now? They said you weren't going to take this fight. They said you couldn't go the distance with him. What are they going to say now about you?
They're going to find something to say. For the real boxer, bitch, I tried. Hey, if I were walking on water, people would say that I can't swim. So there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be critics. And that just is there. It's everyday part of life if you're doing something and being successful. So I don't worry about that shit. And this is just the start, baby. I want Nate Diaz, who's a bitch. He tried to come into my locker room. He tried to cause some shit. And then he always leaves the fucking arena. So Nate Diaz, stop being a bitch and fight me. And Canelo, you too, Canelo. You guys said, oh, you can't beat someone, you can't beat a striker, you can't beat a legend like Anderson Silva. I just did it. So why can't I beat Canelo? Fuck y'all.
So if it was up to you, who would be next? Would it be Nathan Diaz, soon to be free agent?
Anyone,
just go ahead and get it.
Anytime, any place. Anyone, anytime, any place.
I heard that one before. Let's bring in Anderson Silva, and perhaps you'll help your brother out next week as well. We'll see about that.
Yeah, look, and it's time to create the United Fighters Association. We had a bet. If I won, it's time for us to partner to help fighter pay and long-term health care. And we're going to be a force to be fucking reckoned with. I'm so excited for that.
Yes, that was part of the bet. That was the stipulation. Anderson, a man of his words. Anderson, congratulations on a great performance, my friend. How would you assess what you did out there?
Wow, you know, I working hard for doing special show for everybody here. You know, I need to say thank you for everyone to come, you know, and that's the...
Anderson Silva lost to a fucking YouTuber.
Lose, but nothing changed in my life. I continue training hard because this is my air. I born for this, and I need to say thank you for God for giving this opportunity. Thank you for my friends here. David, thank you for coming here, bro. Thanks for giving support, my coach, my family, my kids. And now I go back home. and back to training and see the next challenge.
Did you think you did enough to win the fight, or are you okay with the scorecards?
What do you say?
Did you think you did enough to win the fight, or do you think the judges got it right?
No. I think the judge did it right. Listen, it's tough to come inside here and fight with young kid, and I try to do my best. I train hard every day, and Jake is better than me today. I don't have nothing to say bad about my opponent. I think everybody needs to respect these kids because doing the best job. I train hard, I'm a warrior, and I know when this fight is hard. It's very hard fight for me today.
Do you want to keep fighting, Anderson?
Absolutely.
You're going to keep going?
Nobody can stop except God.
Boxing or MMA?
Now I go back to home and I go to Dubai to Jiu-Jitsu tournament.
Okay, well, good luck with that, Anderson. Thank you so much. And congratulations to Jake Paul on the big win. Well done to you, undefeated. Can't wait to see what he does next, guys. Unbelievable scene in here. Jake Paul remains undefeated.
Yeah, it looks like the Nate Diaz fight's going to be likely coming up next. And you can't really blame him, because, he did try to fight a boxer twice in Hasim Rahman Jr., who had weight issues, and the commission basically didn't want to let him fight in New York. And Tommy Fury, who had travel issues. So he has been trying to fight boxers. And then also the Anderson Silva fight is a fight that we did want to see, and he beat Silva via decision, and he dropped him. 47 years old or not, I still find it to be very impressive. So the Nate Diaz fight is a fight I definitely want to see. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360 and the Fight View 360 Boxing Podcast that you can watch or listen to on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Shout out to Jake Paul, though. Very exciting fight, very good fight, overall, and a nice another feather in his cap. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.